Okay, I get a lot of questions about how to start a vegan diet, and some doctors were asking me about this recently. So here's how it is. The first thing is, the patient should understand that there's a lot of good reasons why the vegan diet is a smart thing to do. All the good stuff that you want that makes you healthy, it's in plants. You need the potassium. You need the magnesium. Most Americans are low in potassium, they're low in magnesium, they're low in antioxidants, they're low in fibrate, they're low in nitrate precursors from the greens to make nitric oxide vasodilator, and they're potentially low in folate. You need folate to make, BH4 and for a lot of other things. Okay, so what I'm saying is all the good stuff comes from plants, and that's literally true. And then all the bad stuff comes from meat and processed foods. There's an excess of fat in meat. Animal protein is like a major carcinogen. A typical animal food, let's say salmon, 50% fat, 50% protein. Animal protein is a major carcinogen. It just causes accelerated cell replication. Okay, what else? There's no carbohydrate in animal foods other than, a little bit in milk from the lactose, for example. Animal foods, like I said, very high in fat, very high in animal protein, and they often have bioaccumulated at the top of the feed chain, pesticides and herbicides. They often feed them, if they come from a feedlot, all these estrogenic chemicals to fatten them up quickly. The processed food, they've taken out almost all the fiber. There's no fiber in meat, by the way, none. It tends to be preserved with sodium, often flavored with lots of sodium. So meat and processed food tend to be associated with a very high sodium diet. That contributes to hypertension, as does the excessive fat. So all the stuff you don't want, and then all these toxic chemicals in processed food, that's where they come from. And also, plant food, if it's processed, I recommend only eat plant foods that have a single ingredient, whole foods. Okay, when there's more than one ingredient, they can put stuff in there and not tell you. Okay, so anyways, there's good reason to eat the plant-based diet. In addition, there's other reasons besides just the general nutrition of it. If you look at it, a billion out of a billion rice eaters, can't be wrong. They're all skinny, okay? White rice has only 1% of calories from fat. The lower the percentage of calories from fat, the skinnier you will get. So a lot of people want to go low-fat vegan to lose weight. And by the way, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a low-fat vegan diet with whole foods. Okay, the healthiest diet in the world is low-fat vegan, low-sodium vegan with whole foods. And foods only have one ingredient. No oils, no artificial sweeteners. All the artificial sweeteners are toxic. All oils are liquid fat, and they're toxic. No high-fat foods either. No avocados, nuts, or soy. Okay, that's the healthiest diet in the world. And then other things are, what does it do in terms of health? Well, it optimizes body weight, prevents hypertension. Hypertension and diabetes are the gateway diseases, and obesity to coronary artery disease, atherosclerosis, plugging up arteries all over the body, making you stupid and demented. It also prevents leaky gut because of all the fiber and avoiding these processed foods with all the toxic chemicals. Prevents constipation, again, all the fiber. Prevents dementia, dramatically lowers the risk of dementia because you get good blood flow. It thins your blood in a positive way. It lowers the risk of cancer dramatically. Okay, I would say commit yourself. If you're kind of like a typical wimpy person, commit yourself to just 1 month. If you're a strong person, commit yourself to 2 months. If you're taking any pills for like hypertension, you gotta let your doctor, your healthcare provider know, because you're gonna have to lower your dosages. You don't want to keep those same dosages while you're eating this diet because you'll drop your pressure too low. Same thing with diabetes, especially if you're taking insulin. You got to let your healthcare provider know to titrate down your dosages. Otherwise, you'll be over-treating yourself and you drop your sugar too low, be hypoglycemic. You probably won't even need diabetes medication if you haven't had it for that many years once you go low-fat vegan. Same thing with hypertension. Most hypertensive who go low-fat vegan, they don't ever need to take a hypertensive pill again. Okay, the more chronic you've had it, if you had it for decades and decades, multiple pills, you're less likely to get off all of them. But a lot of people do. If you're taking anticoagulants like Coumadin, for which a plant-based diet can interfere, let your doctor know. Work at titrating your dose or switching to a different substitute medication. Okay, take a standing picture of yourself, a nice selfie, full length, bikini picture or bathing suit picture, whatever. Weigh yourself on the scale so you know your baseline. Have a little journal where you keep track of what you're doing and how it's going. That could be useful to refer to later to track your progress. Check your resting pulse, check your blood pressure, just check your total cholesterol. That's a reasonable thing to do at this point. You can watch, you might want to check your vitamin B12 too, just to know where that's at. You can watch vegan videos online. There's lots of good sites with vegan videos. You can go to I have a playlist of beginner videos, okay? Because a lot of times when I get a troll or somebody else, I give them a chance. I say, look, if you want to learn, here's the beginner playlist, okay? Or people that really are newbies want to get started. I have videos about Spartan vegan diet. That's the version of the vegan diet I eat, very low in fat. My version of it's, real similar to the McDougall diet, basically. I'm a little fussier, similar to the Esselstyn diet, too. OMAD diet just means one meal a day. Some people eat 3 times a day, some eat twice a day, some eat 1 a day. I like 1 time a day because it's convenient, and I just eat at the end of the day when I'm not really going to do much else anyways. I don't like to eat in the morning because it starts me off to a slow start. I got to go to work early. Plus, even if I'm not at work, I'm doing brain work, and I don't like to eat. It sets me back when I'm trying to do intellectual work in the morning. So I just eat 1 meal a day. So get that figured out. Now, the key question is, what's the make it or break it issue? You have to find a starch that satisfies your hunger. Starches are the best food to satisfy hunger. And you have to come up with something you like so you can satisfy your hunger. Because if you can't satisfy your hunger, you're not going to stay with the diet. Now, billions of people all over the world are quite happy eating a low-fat vegan diet. So starches are the best food in the world to satisfy hunger. So if you want to lose weight, you definitely want to, consider going with white rice, potatoes, and sweet potatoes as being a major part of your starches, because they all have only 1% of calories from fat, so they make you skinny. And they also are good for lowering blood pressure and reversing insulin resistance, okay? There's plenty of other good starches as well. Lentils are probably the lowest in fat of the beans, at only 3% of calories from beans. Black beans are about 4% fat. Garbanzos are about 13% fat. I would not recommend soy. I think soy is a bad food in general, but in particular, it's also very high fat, like 37 to 40% of the calories from fat. Oatmeal is a little bit fatter. I don't know, in the ballpark of like 15% fat. Quinoa is something similar. Organic corn, I forget the exact number, but I don't think it's too high. The only thing is it has to be organic. I don't like the non-organic corn. Organic grains, some of the good organic grains are good, like millet. Some people have issues with gluten and all that stuff, but people all over the world have eaten grains for years, so you'll have to work that one out, but that's one of the decent grains. Okay, starches in general, they're cheap. They can store at room temperature for a long time, so they're very convenient. It's okay to put a little bit of sugar or salt on the food, sprinkled on the outside. You don't want to mix it in there with cooking. So take a week or two before you commit to your 1 or 2 months of low-fat vegan only to just figure out, will you be able to satisfy your hunger? Do you have enough food in the pantry to keep you going for your month before you get a chance to go back to the grocery store? Practice cooking it. Watch videos online. Learn how to cook these foods. All I ever do is boil the food. I just boil water. That's how you make oatmeal. That's how you make quinoa. That's how you make rice, beans, potatoes, sweet potatoes. Just boil it. It's a very easy thing to do. If you got somebody else who can cook for you, that's nice. If you got somebody who knows recipes, that's nice. But a lot of us in this world, we have to do stuff by ourselves. So you need to know what to do. Good to have a stainless steel pot for cooking. All you need is water. It's good to have filtered water, optimally, like reverse osmosis filtered water, but you don't have to have filtered water. Okay, but the advantage of having at least a carbon filtered water is it removes estrogenic chemicals from the water. Estrogen is a fat storage hormone, so that can make it a little more difficult to lose weight. So make sure you got your starches loaded with your pantry loaded with the starches you're going to eat. And I would recommend try to get the animal food out of the house, the junk food out of the house, the processed food out of the house, just because, you're more likely to eat it if it's there. Okay? Figure out what fruits you like. Fruits are relatively expensive. They don't tend to store as well unless they're for as long amount of time, unless they're frozen. But, good to have some fruits, okay? So again, this is what you want to do that first week or two of planning. So you've got a strategy to figure it out. Okay, figure out what salads or vegetables you like. Some type of greens every day is good, whichever one you want. It can just be a salad. It could be kale. It could be broccoli, whatever you want. Cauliflower is okay too. Like Dr. McDougall said, if you don't know what to do and you just want to become healthier, eat 90% of your calories from starch, 5% from fruits, and 5% from veggies. You'll be amazed at how healthy you get. And he also said, if you're sick and nothing seems to be working, you haven't tried everything you can do with diet until you eat only sweet potatoes for 4 months. Sweet potatoes are considered, by Dr. McDougall and myself, the healthiest food in the world because they're real low in protein at only 4.5% of calories from protein, and they're real low in fat at 1% of calories from protein, 1% of calories from fat. So that's what you want. That's like the perfect diet. You don't have to push for perfection so soon, but I'm just telling you, there it's at, okay? In separate videos, I talk about how much protein you need. Bottom line, Next to none. It's impossible to be too low in protein. How much fat do you need? Bottom line, next to none. It's impossible to be too low in fat. I made videos about all this. Pritikin's made videos about this. This is well known amongst people who study nutrition. People who tell you otherwise are BSing you. Figure out, let's see, what else? Try to, like I said, stick to it for at least 1 month. If you're mentally tough, 2 months, but at least 1 month. And then recheck your total cholesterol, recheck your body weight. See how you feel, how your energy level is, okay? Recheck your pulse. And that's pretty much how it works. So that's how you start it. And again, watch videos at other sites. Watch my beginner playlist videos if you like, and that'll help you. So anyways, that's how you start the vegan diet. Commit to it for that 1 month. Go 100%. Don't half-ass it. If you go 100%, you'll get the benefits. You got to commit. You can always go back to your old ways if you don't want to, but you give it a try. All right, good luck to you.